There lived a poor widow and her son Jack. Robbed by an ogre, they suffered great lack, except for one cow, Milky White, who gave them a living. But then one morning, Milky White ceased milk giving. "What shall we do?" cried the widow in dismay. "Don't worry, Mother," said Jack. "Today's market day. I'll go there this morning and sell Milky White. After I do that, it'll be all right." So Jack led Milky White off to the square and met a sly old man bargaining there.
"Want to swap your cow for these beans?"
the man said.
"Just plant them and they'll grow clear over your head. If they don't work, come back to me and we'll trade."
"That sounds fair," said Jack, and the deal was made. Jack came home so quickly, his mother was glad. "Back so soon?" she said. "So a good sale you've had?" "Even better than a sale," Jack said with a smile. "I've magical beans that will grow up a mile." "Beans?" his mother said. "What good are those now? For a handful of magic, you gave up our cow?" "Well, here's what I think of your magic," she cried, grabbed the beans from Jack's hand, and threw them outside. Sadly, Jack knew his mother was right, that they'd have no supper at home that night. Tired from his journey, he went off to bed and fell asleep soon as he laid down his head. He awoke in the morning and stared round his room. Why was it darkened and shaded in gloom? Peering out of the window, he gasped in surprise to see a beanstalk soaring as high as the skies. So the beans had grown, just the way the man said. Excited, Jack clambered up out of bed and climbed the beanstalk up higher than high, till he came to a castle right there in the sky. At the door of the castle, a big, tall woman stood. Jack smiled and said politely, "Good morning, Mum. I wonder, can you be so kind as to give me breakfast, if you wouldn't mind?" "Breakfast?" the woman said. "That's what you are, dear, if my husband comes back and finds you here. He's an ogre with a huge appetite. He captures boys to feast on day and night." "But please, Mum, I'm famished," Jack replied. "I've not eaten since yesterday's morning tide." "Well, all right," with a sigh, the ogre's wife said, took Jack into the kitchen and gave him some bread. But Jack hadn't finished his bread when thump, thump, the house shook so much it made him want to jump. "Quick, hide here," said the ogre's wife, and tucked Jack fast away to save his life. The ogre sniffed, then roared, "Fee, fi, fo, fum! I smell a boy's blood from someone. Be he alive or be he dead, I'll grind his bones to make my bread." "Nonsense," said his wife. "You know there's no boy. Here, sit down, and your dinner enjoy." After eating, the ogre took a gold coin-filled bag and counted it till his eyelids started to sag. The sleeping ogre's snore rattled the house, so Jack left his hiding place like a mouse and grabbed the gold out of the ogre's hand, tossed it next to the beanstalk, and came down to land. The coins in his mother's garden shone bright, and Jack couldn't help saying, "See, Mother, I'm right. Those beans were true magic. They've made us rich." But a day or so after that, Jack got an itch to go back up the beanstalk and make one more try. So soon he was climbing up, higher than high. Following the road to the castle once more, he came up more boldly than he had before. At the castle door, he met the tall lady again. "Good morning, Mum," he said, and then, "You've been here before," the woman did say, "and my husband's missed a gold bag since that very day." Jack smiled and said, "I'll tell all about that. but I need to eat something before I chat." Curious, the tall woman beckoned him in, and Jack welcomed breakfast with a big grin. Then the same thing happened as on that first day. The ogre stomped in with a bellow to say,
"Fee-fi-fo-fum, bring our hen that lays gold."
His wife did quickly what she'd been told, brought the hen to the ogre, who commanded,
"Lay!"
and a gold egg was in his hand straight away. Amused, the ogre smiled, then started to droop, and soon snoring echoed to the chicken coop. As the noise filled house and hearth, Jack crept around, grabbed the hen, and went homeward bound. Before you could say Jack Robinson, he had shimmied down the beanstalk and was long gone. Jack showed his mother the beautiful hen, said, "Lay," and gathered gold eggs again and again. But even this luxury didn't satisfy. Jack decided to give the stalk one more try. Early he rose, went into the blue, and climbed straight upward, his grip strong and true. A third time he traveled that familiar street to the ogre's castle and all its treasures sweet. But this time Jack had a trick up his sleeve. The moment he saw the ogre's wife leave, he stole into the kitchen behind her to hide. In moments, it seemed, after he was inside, he heard the thump, thump ring out, and held so still, the ogre's voice sounded terrifyingly shrill.
"Fee-fi-fo-fum,"
the ogre roared.
"What's that smell? I know a boy's blood is here. I can tell."
"Fee-fi-fo-fum," said his wife. "Oh, just stop. You smell the boy you caught last night, you sop." She served him his breakfast, then looked sharp when he said next,
"Wife, bring my golden harp."
She gave it to him and ordered,
"Sing!"
and the golden harp made sweet music ring. Sleeping to the music, the ogre snored loud, and Jack knew that harp would make Mother proud. But the moment he took hold, it thwarted his aim, as, "Master, master!" it began to exclaim. Roused from sleep, the ogre was angry indeed, and took off after Jack at a deadly speed. Jack ran for his life with the giant close by, then slipped through the clouds so thick in the sky. As the ogre saw Jack disappear down the stalk, he followed right after. He didn't even balk. The beanstalk quivered with both of their weight as Jack scrambled to escape a nasty fate. Halfway to the ground, Jack started to shout, "Mother, go to the tool shed and bring the axe out!" She ran with it toward her son's desperate hand, wondering even then what he had planned. Swiftly Jack vaulted onto the soft earth and swung the blade backward for all he was worth. One cut went halfway, and then the stalk split, and the ogre started to lose hold of it. With a second blow from the axe, Jack cut through, and the beanstalk abruptly shattered in two. Crunching and crashing, it toppled around, throwing the ogre on Jack's mother's ground. Still shouting, the ogre hit square on his head, and then all was quiet as he lay dead. "This harp is the last thing," Jack said, "that I brought back," and Mother cried out with joy, hugging her Jack, for the harp, golden hen, and coins without measure had been his father's possessions and rightful treasure. Thanks to Jack's courage and a beanstalk tower, the ogre would never again wield his power. So Jack and his mother now lived rich and well from a few beans that fulfilled their magical spell.